Spring 2019 live stream on my way home from work, 5 o'clock as usual. Well, plus or minus a couple minutes here or there on some days. Yeah, I was on my way home now finally, and I've been contemplating about all kinds of topics during the livelong day. And it's been kind of bothering me since I've been at a Viking event this weekend that I've had a couple of things on my mind. A couple of things happened there at the event that really concerned me a little bit. And today's topic of the live stream is going to be historical leaders. Yes. Now, the thing that bothers me is that we don't absolutely have any documentation about the Viking Age. Everything we know is basically off of what we've dug up out of the ground and interpreted. We don't have any solid based knowledge off of the items that we found that it's 100%. So basically everything we've found archaeological findings, we've interpreted them into our beliefs of how it may have been back then at the Viking Age. Christian documentations from later on, hundreds of years later, from 200 years after the Viking Age, which again doesn't lead us to any accurate conclusion because it's biased information. Some of it is. And the 200 years between then and now leads to lots of mistakes and open missing information. And we have some information as well from the Middle Eastern historians that wrote down quite a bit from their travels over there, but then again, that's from their personal point of view and from their religious background and culture. So that'll be, some of the things to take in consideration when you go and say historically correct. And then you have the other side of the story is when you have people who think the Vikings all look like the guys off the TV show and motorcycle clothes with some slapped together semi-Viking haircuts and haircuts that don't even fit the day and age, including mine. I don't have a Viking haircut. People always criticize that. I just have my own style of things, and it sort of ties into my Native American ancestry a little bit. And I just kind of like having an easy cut hairstyle. When it gets too long, I'll cut it, and it's a quick fix. Good day, everybody. Curtis, OneCoco64, KP Heathen. Just managed to glance down at the chat. I was just in Bjorn's chat there, and I had to close the business, and now I'm on my way home to look forward to some delicious hamburgers. Actually, I'm only going to get one hamburger because there's only two, and I have to share with Vanessa. So, I am very hungry, and I'm looking forward to get some food at home, and then we're going to go off to the blacksmith forge. We're going to do some forge work tonight. And I have Vanessa who wants to help me film, so that's going to be making some videos, short videos, and be filming a video of me attempting a second try at making a Mjolnir fire striker. So that's going to be interesting. The weather's been cool enough and it's rained quite a bit to where I won't have to worry about catching the shop on fire anymore. Yeah, so the this weekend I was at it wasn't really a real historical event. We have it called a Viking festival every year now that it's actually the first year since 3 years again. But we usually have it every year, and it's a couple towns away from where I live, and it's real convenient. I can haul one load of equipment down there and set up, and I'll have, I drive 10 minutes and I'm home. So that's real convenient, and I've got a lot of acquaintances and some new friends there I'd like to see that I haven't seen for 3 years. I got to meet a lot of them. It was really nice. We had a great time on that part, but it was just basically kind of, a fun get together. It wasn't really not even like a medieval market. And oh my, look at this idiot. So there was a lot of people who caused some trouble, like always. You had some people who couldn't. Excuse me. Some people who couldn't behave. We had to remove them. So some random people who walked in that had a couple of drinks too many. They had to leave. And then there was, I was just about done. It rained in my tent. It flooded my camp. My entire tent canopy was wet and soaked through the second canopy and went right through the tent. And I was sleeping in the tent while it rained on. My clothes were wet down to my shoes, including my all my furs were soaked. It was just a horrible. It was kind of just a stressful. It was very stressful, and it was almost worth not going, which I was kind of sad about. And so, and all of that, we did have a great time. I got to meet a bunch of my old friends and new acquaintances. My buddy Chris came by for the first time, and we had a good time together there. We cooked food like kings. I tell you, we had a cookout. Sven was there, and he brought a buddy along with him, Moritz. He's a carpenter master, and he also a very good cook, and he brought a bunch of delicious food with him, and we cooked over the campfire. It was very delicious. That was a good point. That was something I was definitely looking forward to, and we'll look forward to in the future again. But I was close to packing up on the last day, and I made an acquaintance with somebody that kind of spoiled my mood there. And it's always someone that comes up and has to criticize something that they see in your camp or in your garments or in your equipment or in your costume or whatever it is. They always have to criticize something, and they always just have to put their 2 cents in because they've got something that you don't, I guess, and historically correctness or whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to go into details, but it was a bit of a very stressful moment for me there. But it worked out in the end. I got to make a new acquaintance and part ways with that individual on peaceful terms. But it was still, I don't like when people come over and rain on my parade, especially when it's already rained on my parade and ruined my weekend for like literally speaking. And you can't come up and say something as historically correct when you don't have nothing but a rusty piece of metal out of the ground that you have to interpret the other 3/4 of the, all of the equipment, and you have to interpret how it may have been put together, and you still don't know, and you have someone else who's got a practical idea with a concept that was very similar to what's been found, but then they come up and say, "Oh, that's not historically correct because I do this and this, and I do that and that. I make these things and I make those things, and off of these findings here, and I have archaeologists that are my buddies that send me pictures." Yeah, and that kind of insults me a little bit. But each for their own. That's fine. And it just always, no matter where I go, I get someone that always historically corrects me on things. It's just, for me, I'm in the game. I'm in the game to take the best of where I can learn from everything, and I make artifacts out of wood, out of metal mostly, and that's where I'm in the game here. I'm not in the game to dress up like the best Viking outfit, have the most historically correct setup, have the most historically accurate reenactment equipment. I'm not in the game for that. I don't get paid for that. That's not, that kind of reenactment costs in detail money. That type of reenactment takes an enormous amount of time and research. And to do that, you need to have a lot of money, because if you're working 40 plus hours a week at your 9 to 5 job, you don't have time to travel all these museums. And especially traveling nowadays costs a ton of money. If you look at the diesel prices and the fuel prices, so to travel places where you actually have connections to archaeological resources, to actually get in there and be able to actually look at things that the general public doesn't have access to. Now that costs money too, because you need to be one of those lobbyist historians that needs to have connections, and again, probably lots of money. or be somebody that writes books and have a name for yourself, then might also get to go in there as a popular historian or something. Maybe you have that kind of connection, but I don't have that, so I have to work with what I got, and I have to buy expensive books that cost $200 or $300, mostly in other languages such as Swedish or Norwegian, that I can't understand because they're only in those languages. However, they're very helpful in the fact that I can translate small portions of the text at a time, and I can get one-to-one scale photographs of the actual items. That's what helps me out the most. Now, I can't read your messages down below in the chat. I'm trying to drive, and the sun is shining right in my face right now, so if I look over at this, I probably won't be able to see any of the messages. But yeah, that's just a little update. So I'm off today I'm off to head home right now. I'm about halfway there. And I'm looking forward to see Vanessa. She's probably making the hamburgers right now and mixing up Pooh Bear's dinner as well. Then after we eat, we're going to head up to the Viking camp and fire up the forge. I'm really excited to actually break in the new anvil today. I'm really excited. And I'm looking forward to that. That'll be awesome. And I'm hoping, if all goes well, I'll be able to do a whole bunch of small, short videos to advertise my channel a little bit. If you guys have probably already seen my video from yesterday, is doing extremely well. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into that and watching that video and leaving comments and liking and subscribing and hitting that bell as well. That rhymes. And it's really helping out the channel. That video did extremely well, and I'd like to say again thank you to my good friend Björn for sharing that video as well. He shared my video. That was very kind of him. I do appreciate that very much. Björn is a good guy. He's got a heart of gold. And he's very knowledgeable about the Viking Age as well. I really respect his expertise, and I really enjoy his novel. I've only been able to read the first Jom's Viking book, but I do have the second one on audiobook in German, and I am looking forward to it when it comes out in English. I'll buy that one as well. Yeah, it's just this constant deal with finding the right publisher, as we all know, probably. So that's we'll look forward to that. Yeah. Well, it's been a long day. The weather's been very fair today. That's good. It's not been very hot, which is good for me. It's also good for Pooh Bear. We don't like the hot weather. We like it when it's nice out, but we don't particularly like it when it's over 25 degrees Celsius and the sun is blistering. I like cloudy weather. It's about 20 degrees Celsius. That works out for me very well. We had a lot of rain the last couple of days. That was extremely good for the environment. The trees loved it. All the leaves have lifted back up, and the trees are looking better now. It's really helped out my garden and the bees. I can't read the comments. I will try to look it down real quick. We had some important people visit the military base today, so we had police lock down basically the entire 12 blocks around the base, and so I couldn't go anywhere all day, so I couldn't go out for lunch. I am starving for some hamburgers right now. I'm gonna watch I don't drive too fast to get a ticket in the mail. Well, that reminds me, I did get flashed a couple weeks back, so I'm probably gonna, thinking of that, I probably got to check the mail today on my way up, see if I got a nasty letter. Beautiful picture of myself racing down the road. Yeah, well, let's see. I'm really interested in going back up to the Viking Museum in Hedeby now that they have also rearranged their exhibit. So I'm really excited to see what they've changed, to see what new items they've possibly put up on display. Because I, particularly when I went up there the first time last year, was looking for specific items that are in the book, The Finds of Hedeby. I have that book. It's a very good book, and it has all the knives in it and all of the metalworkings that were found at Hedeby. And I wanted to take a really close look at the knives, and especially the knives and the flint strikers and the flint steels, which is a very passionate item that I like to forge. I really have a passion for that particular item. I enjoy making them quite a bit. And I will be probably doing another flint striker marathon here in the next couple of weeks, because I require a large amount of those for my future plans here coming up soon. And some other good news. Vanessa and I are working on a surprise. We are working on forging some new plans for our future. We may be getting into I don't know the English term for it. Falconry? Is that an English term? It's what it's called in German. It's Falknerei. It's where you keep birds of prey and train them to do certain things like hunting, but mostly we're looking forward to using small owls. I mean, they're very tiny owls, for therapeutic visits in children's hospitals and kindergartens and old people's homes, to take them places and let the people hold them and pet them and teach the owls some small tricks. And we'll travel all over Germany with that, especially my medieval markets. That would be a very big hit. And we're really looking forward to that, because we've discovered somehow that is a very lively topic, and we really like to enjoy getting into that. And so we're going to set all of the keystones in place now and start doing the research on how to get all of those plans in motion. Very, very interesting. I'm very looking forward to that. Life-changing experience coming up here. That would be I'd be quite excited for that, I must say. New step in a new direction. So we're going up through the forest now. The reception here isn't the best, in case the live stream wants to suddenly disappear. But the reception should be fine as long as clouds aren't too bad today. Yeah, so I'm kind of stumped about those people who are constantly debating about the Viking Age and the historical correctness of things. And then you have the Hollywood haters that come up and you put on your Viking Age clothes, and they hate on you for not wearing all the leather and cool stuff off the Vikings TV show. So you can't make them both happy. And I have all my Viking clothes are store-bought, and I have a lot of them that I work with. I just buy them because they look a little more the part than my ugly yellow jacket there, and my normal T-shirt. So when I'm working in the workshop, I have something on that kind of fits the part, and it's not too bad when it gets dirty or I burn holes in it. It's not a large tragedy, as if I would have made myself some very nice expensive tunic to wear as a very historically accurate reenactor, and then I go to the forge and I burn holes in it and get it dirty. So although that is part of the whole show too, but that's only if I were getting paid enough money to be able to afford to buy or make new clothes that fit the part every couple months, every season. And I don't have the time for that. And the reason I don't have the time for that is that I don't earn enough money in that field to be able to afford the time. So I'm constantly running behind my full-time job trying to pay the bills. Some people don't understand that. It's I don't know. I guess everyone's got their own focus and direction, but I do wish to, in the future, I really would like to put on a really good, historically accurate show here for all of my fans here on YouTube, for all my family here on YouTube. We are a big community, and I know a lot of people, they tune in for my blacksmith work. I know a lot of people of you are longtime viewers who tune in no matter what I film, and I'm thankful for that. And then there's the regular, spontaneous people who tune in when I do the live streams or the random videos, or when I go hunting for resources in the forest, and then or do some more into the bushcraft videos where I do have some more of the semi-modern equipment to be able to go out and harvest raw materials in the forest, or when I just go out and pan some gold. You even do a kind of one of those deals there that we usually do here on the channel. And so really looking to build up my Viking Age historically correct equipment. So for all those haters out there in the world that may watch this in the future, better watch out, because here I come. I was looking at making some shoes. Actually, that was one of the topics we were looking at here this weekend. Chris is a huge guy. He's like 7 foot something tall, and he can't find Viking shoes. And he's got like a size 12 and a half shoe. So try finding some Viking Age clothes for a guy like that. So it's going to be kind of we're going to learn to do a lot of our own. We're going to be able to make our own clothes here, and our own shoes, and our own, especially weapons and tools, since that's one of my basic skills in the first place. And now I'm really looking forward tonight to breaking in my new anvil. I'm going to be making a Milner flint steel fire striker. I'm going to attempt to make a really nice looking one. And I've got a dimensions and a shape and size. So I'm at the house now. I'd really like to go inside. I'm starving. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And we'll probably see each other maybe a little bit later on tonight, or possibly tomorrow evening when I post a video. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Stay safe, and see you soon.